We're only 4 minutes over 8 o'clock, which is pretty good for us, if you're honest. We managed to get Lesley on. Lesley, thank you very much for coming along and as a panelist. And those of you who are watching and don't know why I've invited Lesley, it's simply because she's had some, I wouldn't say remarkable success, but good, decent
interesting
success, because she's implemented stuff that she's been taught, and she's just pushed on and taken action. Again, all this info, as far as I'm aware from what Lesley's done, she hasn't done anything secretive or miraculous in any way. It's just she's implemented what she's been taught, and she's had success based on that. So we've invited her on here as a, let's be fair, a little bit of a lastminute.com type of thing. And I know you've been very busy, Lesley, and with sort of technical things and laptop issues and stuff. So thank you very much for coming along. And yeah, I know you probably haven't had a chance to prepare necessarily what to say, but that might come across better in some respect. So could I pass it over to you for you to just explain what you've been up to and the sort of successes you've been having recently?
Could I just interrupt? Do we want people to just introduce themselves into the group in the chat so we know who's here?
Yes, we can do that. Might give Lesley a couple of minutes or a minute or so to rethink maybe, or have a think about what she's going to say. Yeah, guys, we can see, I don't know if this includes us, but we see there are 11 people watching, so welcome again. If you want to say hello, Jen, hi Jen and Jason. Yeah, we can see you're there, and Jason's already sharing some interesting results he's been having, so that's brilliant. But guys, if you can just say hello, put something in the chat, just so we know that you're there and listening, that would be great. We don't know how much of a delay there is, of course, this evening on the chat. So that's something that Google, well, now that we've addressed the issues of people joining and watching, there is always going to be a delay as far as I'm aware. And we just need to establish how much of a delay this evening there is. So I still see nothing in the chat.
Yeah, me neither.
I know that there is a element of, oh, Jen, hello. Jen says hello. I'm guessing they're getting the messages now. 706. 806.
I still can't say anything.
My thing actually says when these chat messages are coming in, mine says 7:06 p.m.
Yeah, Rick, it always seems to be an hour out. I think it's working on GMT rather than BST.
Right, awesome, thank you. That would make sense.
It's done that every week, so yeah.
I clearly haven't been paying attention. I've been reading what people are writing, but I haven't
noticed what you're supposed to do.
I've been having that, not seen the time thing. Cool. Awesome, guys. I know there are a few more people, and they may pop in and say hello into the chat. And any issues you've got, any challenges, any questions, we're really trying to get this weekly fast start thing as a Q&A. This really is a Q&A for any issues you're having in the group that we can help you with, because obviously the number of us are maybe slightly more ahead and more further on in the Empower Network business, and we've sort of kind of got to grips with stuff. So yes, any issues, please put them in the chat. And once again, I will hand it over to Lesley. Again, Lesley, thank you for joining us, and please share what you have been up to.
Okay, well, thanks, guys. I guess you can hear me okay. Managed to get past the technical gremlins, thankfully. But yeah, as Rick said, I mean, it's not that I've achieved anything amazing, really. Well, not in my eyes, anyway. But it's really just the fact that we hear it said time and time again that really what we need to do is go out there and start building relationships with people. It's about building a list, building relationships with them. And basically all I've been doing is following what we've been shown in terms of increasing my fan page likes through using Facebook PPC, pay-per-click. And in the last, let me just have a look at my stats, in the last 6 days I've increased my fan page likes by 798.
Wow.
Okay.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Very impressive.
You know, it gives me a great market now to go out there and obviously build the relationships. Obviously I need to get some conversations going, but basically all I did was placed an advertisement over the weekend. I thought it might take Facebook the weekend to approve it, but amazingly enough, Saturday evening they approved it within about 10 minutes. And so far I've had 1,142 clicks, and that's cost me 5 cents a click.
Wow.
So that's just short of $53 that I've spent, which, you know, is a large amount of money. But as I say, I've increased my fan base by 798. So that's a 70% conversion from clicks to likes, which, you know, is a good measure, I think. Obviously what I've now got to work on, as I said previously, is really building a relationship with those people and obviously getting some interest in working with me. I have got a couple of conversations going on. I've also had people branch out and look at some other websites that I've got, my personal website, you know, to find out details about myself. So far that's actually only generated 15 leads, which is only a 2% conversion from likes. So obviously that's definitely an area that I've got to improve on. But like Jay says, you know, steady is the new fast. It's all about taking the time now to get to know those people, to see what it was that actually made them like my fan page, to see what it is I can do to actually help them. So I don't know what else you want me to add, but, you know, as I say, it was just simply a case of placing an advertisement. I used the Facebook tab Fangate function to encourage them to like my page before giving them my capture page, and then, as I say, that's generated 15 leads and a few ongoing conversations.
Did you send them to the secret, straight to the Empower tab, or did you send them straight to Jay's letter, or have you sent them somewhere else?
From my own capture page, I sent them through to the Team IWI sales page. So even though they are overseas, and obviously the Team IWI page is very UK-ish, that's where I've been sending people, because that's where, you know, my sign-ups have come from, is from the Team IWI sales page. So, you know, it gives them a good insight, and I think my follow-up messages, which I need to get around to doing, my broadcasts, we'll then send them off to the commission loophole video and such like. But at the moment, I'm just trying to keep things simple, just following, you know, the basics that we're being shown, using a Facebook fan page, using the fan page tab to get likes, and then using the Team IWI sales funnel with the pre-written follow-up emails, and just, you know, taking it one step at a time.
Yeah.
No, that's...
The question was going to be, was it overseas advertising or UK?
Yeah, it's overseas that I'm doing, yeah.
For that sort of money, I thought it would be.
Yeah, 5 cents, yes, yeah, definitely.
No, that's brilliant. I mean, I don't want you necessarily to release all your little secrets about exactly what niche you're in, but obviously, are you focusing on one specific niche, or are you testing lots of different things for lots of different adverts?
No, funnily enough, the statistics that I've just shared with you have come from just one niche. I've basically set up 4 adverts within my campaign, and what I actually did was pick 2 areas, and I did the same advertisement twice within each of the 2 countries that I picked. And I was actually telling this to somebody just a short while ago. It's quite interesting. I used 2 different images, and one got 4 clicks from one country, and the same country on the other image has given over 1,000 clicks.
I've been doing a bit of that, changing the images. It is really, I think it's the image that catches their attention, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah, because I mean, everything else was exactly the same. The wording, the age group, the niche was exactly, you know, the same. The only thing I changed was the image, and it's a remarkable difference.
Well, that's great, because that's really showing you, isn't it? That's really narrowing down, focusing you on what you need to do.
That's right. Yeah, and as we're constantly told, it is a case of test, and I think when you actually start to see these results coming in, you can see that is so true, that you just don't know what will catch people's attention, and just because it's something that maybe you like, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be something that somebody else likes. So you have got to try all sorts of different things.
Yeah, I will just touch on something that Jen's put in there. I said don't share your secrets, and she says why not? Share your secrets. Plenty of millions of people out there. Yes, I agree. There are a lot of people. It's not as if something's gonna, maybe one thing. I just shared Jay's view on this, and that is that Lesley has put her money on the line and her time, and has really pushed forward with trial and testing different things, and you found something that works for you. Now, all you've done is implement what Jay, and not really me, but Jay and the training has shown you to do, or explained what to do, and you found something that's working. Now, if everyone else that, for example, okay, there's only 11 people at the minute in the fast start in this particular webinar, if they all duplicated what you were doing, that would then
dilutes it, doesn't it?
Dilute it a lot. Well, say not a lot, but if they then went on to explain what's working, further down the line they may find that it stops working because it may be current. I mean, are you able to share with us what the images you're using, the two different images, roughly? Actually,
they were both cute animals.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously, when you search Google, you can find a lot of funny animal pictures and cute animal pictures, and actually I just took two cute pictures that sort of reflected the title of my advertisement.
Yeah.
And I thought they were both cute. As I say, amazingly enough, one has completely overruled the other.
Yeah.
Oh, is that dogs versus cats? Who prefers dogs, who prefers cats?
Yeah, it must be something like that, yeah.
And are you finding that the wording of your advert you feel is key? Obviously, I think image is, they say, the things about pictures, say, 1,000 words or whatever, they really do. They draw the attention. And then I think the title has to be congruent with the picture, maybe, or are you not finding that?
Yeah, I mean, I do try to do that. I mean, unless I'm obviously using my own image, then there probably isn't much of a link. But the ones that I'm doing at the moment, yes, there is very much a reflection of the image to the title of the advertisement.
Mm-hmm. And are you instructing people what to do in the advertisements, or are you saying that, for example, like my page to find out more, or are you going into a bit more detail?
No, I mean, it's very much a case of explaining really what we're offering, explaining that, it's a way for them to improve maybe where they're at the moment. It doesn't say click here, or it doesn't say, free video or anything like that. It just simply is saying, maybe here's something that, can lead you to a laptop lifestyle sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, whether the number of likes are coming as a result of people actually just seeing it in their news feed, or on the side and just clicking like, rather than actually doing anything more than that. Obviously, I don't know. I'm not that up on the mechanics of Facebook really to understand exactly how this is all working, but I'm just doing it.
Was it actually an advert, or was it a sponsored story, or a combination?
No, it was well, I always remove the sponsored story bit, but I don't know if it does actually remove it. But it was a paid advertisement, as far as I believe.
Yeah, I think the sponsored stories, they're a bit hit and miss for me. I think once you've built up a large I mean, of course, the likes, it's kind of chicken or the egg scenario, because sometimes people will like your page purely because a friend of theirs has liked it, and that's where the sponsored stories come in, because once they appear and it says so and so also likes this page, that may encourage people to like it. And of course, the more people like it, the more people you have connecting and appearing on the sponsored stories. So because the sponsored stories aren't an additional cost, are they? As far as I know.
No, I don't believe so, no.
It's a kind of yay or nay to something, whether you want them or not. And I tend to play with taking them off sometimes, because I want the statistics bit to look a bit more cleaner, and I want to see exactly what my particular advert is, how it's working. But I've not had one of the reasons why I pulled you on as well, not just to share with the team, but I've never had results like that. I will admit to that.
No, I haven't. I thought I was doing well to get a 50-50.
Yeah. Yeah. So whatever you're doing, I'm not going to ask you for the nitty-gritty. I don't expect you to share that with me. What makes it valuable for you is that your direct team in Empower Network, as it builds underneath you could share it with them.
Yeah.
That again is totally your call whether you do that. But that will then, it's an element of real value that you're providing your team specifically.
Yeah, and all I can really say to everybody that's on the webinar is that I'm not doing anything special, I'm not doing anything clever, I'm not doing anything intelligent. You know, as I said, all I'm doing is simply following what we've been shown to do. You know, there's nothing special about the advertisement. If anything, my copywriting skills have got a lot of room for improvement. You know, it's not something that sits comfortably with me. And I will admit, totally, you know, lost for words when I woke up the next morning after having placed it Saturday evening, to find that over 100 people had liked my page. And then I went to bed Sunday night and got up Monday morning and found another 100 people had liked my page. And like I say, now in 6 days, it's gone up to nearly 800 that have liked it. So, you know, I'm well over the 1200 mark now. And it's like, you know, if you'd asked me that a couple of months ago when I started with all this, you know, could I ever see myself having a following on my fan page of that many people? I would have said no way. You know, I started off with about 31 people, I think, when I started advertising, and now, as I say, I'm up over the 1200 mark, and absolutely amazed as to how I've actually done it. But it is just simply a case of following what we've been shown. And you know, obviously I did try and help the team by putting together the video that shows you how to set up a fan page landing tab. And it really is just a case of trying different things. As I say, you know, I've now got to work on the conversion to leads and sign-ups within the Empower team. But I think, you know, you've just got to take one step at a time and get the ball rolling. And I think if you can build that momentum, the results will come, you know, in time.
And it is very much just having a play, isn't it? Having a go and trial and error.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'll openly admit I'm possibly further along, or at least I've been in Empower Network. Is it longer than you, Lesley, or about the same time? When did you join?
I think I joined in March.
See, I only joined before Christmas, so I've been in longer than you, but you've got more likes than me now on your Facebook page.
Yeah?
Yeah,
oh,
I'm in awe of what you've managed to get, and that is purely through well, trial and error and maybe a few lucky guesses, but the fact you've got something now, you can work on that and expand it. And okay, I mean, I do a lot of offline things as well for getting attention to my Facebook page, and I use the whole viral thing where people join my list from other means, and I send them messages, broadcast messages within Aweber, a little bit about myself, and obviously I've got the follow-up sequence as well. But in my broadcasts, I say, why don't you share this email with a friend of yours, forward it to a friend of yours who you think may find it useful, and I put a link to my Facebook page and say, and you can come and like my page, and maybe, you know, and there's different things. Even Sylvia, my girlfriend, she does little competitions with her cakes, because some of you may know she makes cakes, and she does little competitions to encourage people to share stuff on Facebook to get them for it to go viral, which is also a very clever little thing. So there are lots of, you know, if you sort of put your thinking cap on and put your experimental thinking cap on, there really is no limit to what you can do. And you've obviously done this and found something that's working, and I take my hat off to you.
Absolutely.
Impressive stuff.
Well, thank you. I mean, as I say, obviously now I've got to work on converting those into leads and obviously team members. But I think at the end of the day, you know, I keep saying it, you've got to start somewhere, you've got to take one step at a time. And I've already started to see, you know, as I've said, that people have gone off and looked at my other websites. simply because on my fan page, obviously I put links on posts from time to time to different capture pages, but obviously there's my main, you know, name website as well. So, you know, people are obviously showing an interest by going off and looking at those things. And obviously, given time, when they start to see what I'm actually offering and, you know, the things that I'm putting on my Facebook, and if they can find it motivational and inspirational and educational, you know, I'm hoping that in time they'll, you know, stretch out their arms and say, yeah, let me come work with you. So that is obviously what we're all working towards, I think. So even though the end result at the moment, you know, may be a little less than I would like, you know, but we'll get it there.
Yeah, absolutely. It is literally a case of, as you were doing, the likes is the first stage. Getting them on your list from there, turning them into leads is the second stage, and then building a relationship, which if they've come from your Facebook page, you're halfway there already, because you've already built a bit of a rapport, bit of a relationship with them as they're a fan. If you then convert the fans to leads, and then they've got the email follow-up sequence, and you send out broadcasts where, I don't know, 80% is about business, 20% is about you and just providing value, or flip that. Provide value a lot of the time. That really creates rapport because it builds trust. And so if you do, say, maybe four broadcasts a week on top of the follow-ups, because they will only last for 12 days, or are they every other day? Or are they every day? I forget. But they'll only after those 12 follow-up emails have been sent. People need to get into a habit of sending broadcasts out. Jay would say every day. I think he would say, if you've got an issue with that, at least every other day. I've got into a habit of doing it maybe 3 or 4 times a week, and 2 of them would be providing value, as in not selling or pitching in Power Network. Of course, I always add a cheeky little link at the bottom if people scroll down that far and they read it. But yeah, 2 would be just providing value, sharing something about day-to-day life or something that I've learned that I think might be valuable. And the other 2 would be more in depth about business stuff. So yeah, that's what essentially will bring people into your team, is getting that ratio right and not necessarily throwing the business at people. So that's kind of where you're just converting them into leads now.
Yeah, and you know, it's something that, as I say, is a huge learning curve for me, because I don't find writing stuff about myself, let alone anything else, that easy. But what I have found, and what may help some other people out there, is that if you get onto other people's lists, you know, it's just a case of watching what they're doing, and when you find something that you like, taking that and converting that either into a blog post and then broadcasting, pointing people to that blog post, or just taking the email and using that as a broadcast in its own right. But I think one of the biggest challenges I have is that when you tell me that I need to do something like every day or every other day, it becomes a mental monster, and actually what happens is I take no action.
Yep, I've been there.
And you know, I think what I've found is I've just tried to set myself very small stepping stones, and basically just try to get into a habit of doing 1 broadcast a week. Now, you know, for people out there that have been doing internet marketing for a long time, that's not an awful lot. But for me, it's a huge challenge to find 1 email that I'm comfortable in sending. So, you know, what I would say to people is, yeah, we're told to do it once a day or once every other day or 4 times a week, but find something that works well for you in the beginning, because remember, as you get more comfortable with it, you can increase it, because once it becomes a habit, I can then start sending 2 a week and then 3 a week. But initially, to make sure that I take action, I just need very small stepping stones to follow. And I think if you can develop that discipline, you know, like making sure you've got an advertisement running on Facebook all the time, making sure that you're always posting something to your fan page every day, if not every other day. I think if you can just get into that habit, then things will start to grow over time. And I think, you know, we've got to remember that you've got to begin somewhere, but the important thing is that you begin.
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually a very good point. When I recommend and I advise and I coach people, I draw on what I'm doing now, and I do occasionally need to remind myself that I was not like this. I've many people know it's been about nearly 9 years to get to where I am now, because I've made a huge amount of mistakes, and I've learned, my learning curve's been very, very slow. It's been very gradual. So I've picked up things that I now am showing people that I could have learned years ago and have just adapted, improved on. And I absolutely, I think you're right. I think even though I'm now pushing myself to do something every day, there was a time at the beginning where I really struggled to build up that discipline of doing something. And people, it's a kind of ongoing joke in the group about my blogging, even though I say when people join my team, blog every day. I haven't been blogging every day. In fact, only in the last 3 days I've blogged every day, and I'm now starting again and blogging every day, which is quite a big thing for me. But the fact is, it works. I know it works because I did it at the end of January. I blogged for a week and I saw my Google statistics going up. So I know that habit, that thing is worth doing every day. But as you say, some people, when they start, they won't blog every day, even if the Fast Start thing, both the Empower Network official videos and our own Fast Start thing, it encourages daily blogging. And it didn't really sit right with me, the fact I was saying, yeah, do the Fast Start videos, and I wasn't doing it. But yeah, it even maybe 3 times a week, if you've got something that you feel passionate about, as far as this is on the daily blogging side, if you can't blog daily, blog once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week is brilliant. You know, the daily thing, as you say, is a mental monster. If you know, to a lot of people, I'm fighting that monster at the moment, and at the moment I'm winning. So that's a thing for me, quite a big stepping stone. But yes, broadcasting once a week, twice a week. You know, develop a habit. I think you've hit it on the head there. Develop a habit of consistent action, and consistent doesn't have to be every day. Okay, consistent could be once a week. It could be once a fortnight. We don't know what people's personal circumstances are. If they get into Empower Network and they see the value of everything here, and they need to start creating these disciplines and these habits, it could be once a fortnight. Dare I say it, once a month? But I really hope people aren't doing things just once a month, because that will be a bit slow for them if that's the case. But at least if they've committed in them, you know, mentally for a long period of time, or not long, but a certain period of time, say 12 months, 18 months, before they decide, you know, this isn't working for me. That's a mental thing that I think will benefit a lot of people if they get, you know, if they prepare for the long haul with this. This isn't a fly-by-night company. It's not a fly-by-night opportunity. It's definitely not a get-rich-quick, although you can make very good money in a short space of time. Some people will pick it up quicker than others.
I think you just have to set your expectations at the right level for what you're prepared to do. You know, I'm not going to expect to be earning $5,000 a week or a month, you know, based on the activity that I'm doing, simply because I'm doing this alongside other things. And I think, you know, as long as you have realistic expectations in return for what you're doing, you're not then going to feel that frustration and disappointment. You know, I don't think you can ever avoid that, because I think we all like things to miraculously happen. But, you know, I think you've just got to be realistic based on what you are prepared to do. If you want things to happen fast, then yeah, you've got to broadcast every day, you've got to blog every day, you've got a fanbook page every day, you've got to have conversations with people every day, you've got to make new friends on Facebook every day, you've got to use all the other channels like LinkedIn and Pinterest and whatever. You know, if you want to go fast, then you've got to learn and you've got to take massive action. But if you're only prepared to put in, you know, what you're prepared to put in, then just set your expectations on the return level accordingly.
Absolutely. Couldn't have
and
said
I think that's where a lot of people do go wrong, because they see all these messages coming out, seeing people that are earning $5,000 a week after, you know, 2 months, and they think, wow, you know, why can't I? Well, actually, if you measured what you've done against what they've done, you know, there's probably a massive difference. So, you know, if you're prepared to work 24/7 and take massive action, then yes, you can expect results quicker. But, you know, just be realistic with yourself.
Yeah, very well said.
And that puts you under less pressure as well, if you're more realistic.
Yeah, it does. I think being realistic being realistic with your business is crucial. I think Jay touched on something. I forget when it was, but I'm pretty sure it was it last week? Did he come on last week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was just doing the rituals, having a ritual. I think that's key to any progress. If you can take daily action on something, just do something to take your business that one step closer to your goal. You know, whether it is a blog post, whether that's, as you say, a mental monster and you can't quite manage that on a daily basis, do something, connect with an additional 2-3 people on Facebook, send that email that you've been promising yourself you were going to send to a friend who may be interested, but take something. I think many of you will have come across a book called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy, and it's a personal development book, and it's all about conquering procrastination. And I am a massive procrastinator, or at least I have been in the past, and I'm still guilty of it now. And yeah, procrastination. Eat that frog. Basically, the frog is the one thing that you need to do on any given day, and it may not be business related. I mean, Brian Tracy it's life coaching in the end. It may not be to do with business, but if there's one thing you need to get done, you need to eat that frog at the beginning of the day, so that the rest of it is not, well, supposedly downhill. I mean, there may be some smaller frogs that you need to do, but if there's one thing that's been holding you back, that you've been promising yourself you have to take action on, then the best thing to do to give yourself a high for the rest of the day is to get it out of the way first thing.
That's exactly what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I eat all my frogs first thing in the morning, and then it's you know, plain sailing for the rest of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think otherwise, if you leave it, it becomes a bigger and bigger mental monster, doesn't it? Because you're thinking, I've got to do this, you know, you've got to get round to it, and then eventually it just becomes such a big block in your head that actually you think, oh yeah, I'll do that in a minute, I'll do it in a minute, and of course before you know it, it's like, oh well, I'll do that tomorrow, and of course tomorrow never comes.
Exactly. And something I will add, people know I love my quotes. I think I've mentioned this one before, actually. It seems to turn up a lot. An average plan executed today is better than a perfect plan executed tomorrow. Because I've always been putting, a lot of the time in the past, and I still do it occasionally, I put off things, because it's not quite ready. So, for example, a blog post that I may be working on, for me, my personal thing now is to do a blog post every day. If it's, you know, I want to get off to bed at 12 midnight or 1 o'clock, and it comes to 11:30, and I know I've got to spend 45 minutes to an hour on a blog post, I will just publish it, even if it's not perfect, because I know tomorrow, when I get round to doing it, things may be different. I could then go back and just adapt it and improve it. So, yeah, for me, blogging and making things look amazing to go out on a blog, that will put something in the way of my daily ritual of blogging and make it harder for me. So I just need to do it and not worry about how it looks too much.
Yeah, and I can totally relate to that, Rick. I mean, I'm very much a perfectionist, and you know, it only needs one letter or one line to be spaced incorrectly, and it's like, well, no, I can't publish that until it's dead on, you know. And I think, and I think what you're saying there, Rick, is you know, it's right. It's just publish it, get it out there. You know, I mean, you look at some of the broadcast messages that come through, or some of the blog posts that you read, and, you know, you think, my gosh, did you not spell check that? You know, did you not look at that before you published it? Yeah. But does it really matter? The point is, if you're getting the message out there, someone is going to connect with you. And that's what, that's, you know, what we're all trying to do at the end of the day, is get people to connect with us and work with us.
Absolutely. And I think really, to highlight that, you want to attract people who are like you. Now, when I say like you, that's attraction marketing. You want to pull people towards you and into your business that you will get on with. If you know you have a weakness like perfectionism, and I realize that is more of a weakness than it is a benefit, or a strength. I think I want to attract people to me, but I don't want to attract other perfectionists. Although I find it fun to talk to those kind of people, because we can talk about how it goes against us a lot of the time. I don't really want them in my business if they're that obsessive with their perfectionistic habits that it stops them building their own business, because I'm fighting my perfectionism, and I'm trying to remind myself that it's not that important, and I can.
I'm the same, absolutely the same. But a lot of it's your past jobs and careers and things, isn't it? You know, I have to be perfectionist in advertising and marketing, and to switch that button off is very difficult.
Yeah,
but it does make things take twice, if not 3 times longer than it really should do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, when people say, you know, blog and it'll take about 40 minutes to an hour every day, it's like, oh, I wish. It probably takes me 3 times that just to format it, let alone
I set myself a target to take a maximum of an hour, and even then I still go over an hour, but I rarely get it longer than about an hour and a half. I think
90 minutes is what Jay reckons, isn't it? 90 minutes to do the blog and to syndicate.
Yeah, I was watching something at the same time as blogging 2 days ago, and I did end up publishing it after 3 hours. But that is not normal, and that is not encouraged. I think I was watching some late night film or something, and I just kept getting sidetracked and stuff. So, I mean, when you sit down and focus on something, you can set realistic targets of about 90 minutes maximum.
That's it. If you don't let Facebook get in the way, or text messages or emails, you know, it's so easy when you've got other devices going off or tabs open bleeping at you. It's very easy to allow yourself to get distracted. But as you say, if you give it 100% focus, then obviously you can get it done a lot quicker. But again, what I would say to anybody out there who's just starting with this, you know, don't get alarmed if it is taking you longer than what people are saying it should, because I think it all comes down to practice. The more of it you do, the more comfortable you get with it, the more comfortable you are with it, the faster you get at it. So I think, you know, I guess I tend to beat myself up because I'm thinking, why is it taking me so much longer than everybody else? You know, why am I not achieving what other people are achieving? It's like, you know, don't worry about what else is going on around you. Find what works for you. Find what sits comfortably with you, and make that your daily ritual. Because if you try and make yourself something you're not, frustration will get the better of you.
When I first started blogging, which would be about 4.5, 5 years ago, on my own personal blog, it used to take me a whole day to write the blog. It doesn't now. I can hammer those out in minutes, because I know the topic, I know what I want to do, and I'm away. But it used to take me the best part of a day, the day being a school day, 9 till 3. But, you know, I had to start. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to use WordPress. Everything was a trauma. But you get beyond it, and you get quicker, and you get quicker and quicker. So it's just practice.
Yeah,
absolutely. And something that Jen has just said, I don't quite know when she typed that, but it's just come through now. She said, try doing it with a 6-month-old crawling underneath your chair and table and everywhere. I would say to that, yes, absolutely. I don't envy you with that at all. I've got a 12-year-old daughter, but of course I wasn't, you know, I can tell her to go and entertain herself for a bit, and she will. I would draw on that, I wouldn't say pain, because it's obviously not painful, but I would draw on that frustration sometimes, or you know, there are going to be people out there, whether they're already in Empower Network or whether they're trying to work online. Jen, blog about that. Blog about how frustrating it is, or how it can be a bit of a challenge with a little monkey crawling around underneath your feet. And you will get people who will come to you, again, attraction marketing. They'll see that, and they'll connect with that. So that's a blog post in itself, probably more than one.
And I think even if, you know, people that are going to connect with that aren't necessarily just people who themselves have got children. You know, I mean, I don't have children, but I could quite easily read a blog post, you know, saying how difficult it is, and actually just out of, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, just admiring the fact that she's able to do it in those circumstances, you know, raises the question, well, if you can do it in those circumstances, then what's my excuse?
Yeah.
So, you know, you'll get a lot of different people connecting with content for different reasons.
Yeah, we all have our own excuses, and other people will see them. That's why you can't compare yourself to other people. I think we touched on this last week. You have your own demons, your own challenges, your own excuses. people will join your business, and you will get people who say, oh yeah, I have trouble with that as well, in which case you can help them. But sometimes you can't, and you just have to reiterate to people, you all have different challenges. Some will be similar, some will be completely different, and there's only a broad kind of, you can only brush over it on a broad scale to say, handle those demons yourself, but set something in concrete. Do something that you know you can do. Make something realistic that you know you can achieve, even with these challenges and these demons that you have on a daily basis. And then, yeah, some people will connect with that, and some people won't. Yeah, that's my little speech out of the way.
It's your little J rant.
My little J rant. Yes, I'm getting quite into these rants, aren't I? I mean, again, Lesley, thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yeah, it was very kind. Very good.
I know I've benefited from that, and although I haven't been taking notes, I know that.
Me too. I have.
You have. Well played, Rachel. Yeah, I mean, the recording will hopefully be up in the group later, assuming everything works okay, Rachel.
Well, it's looking like it is, but hey.
That's all good. Cool. Yeah, because we've got, okay, it says 13 people now. Do you have the attendee numbers, Rachel?
I've got 9 viewers on mine and no messages, so.
Oh, okay.
Looks like you've got more info than me again.
Yeah, I seem to have. How bizarre. Okay. Rachel Hall says, true, we all have distractions, so a blog on that is attractive, Jen. Yeah. Anne, I think the key is to be transparent. If you're dealing with something challenging, I guarantee there are thousands of others facing the same thing. Very true. Yeah. So true. Thank you, Anne. That's so poignant.
And it's so important. It's so important not to beat yourself up, thinking that you are the only one that has that challenge. I think, you know, so that's why I think, you know, Team IWI is very important as a support community, to make you realise that actually we all go through the same things, but sometimes when you're sitting at home behind your computer screen, it can feel as though you're working in isolation and you're the only one having those struggles or challenges.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not the case, and that's why it's so important to share.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it's great.
We should all go and write a blog on computer issues, techie issues. I'm sure we can all relate to that one.
I'll write one about restoring your PC back to scratch. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I had that one just 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Joy. Well, thank you ever so much for inviting me in on the webinar tonight. It's been great fun, and I think there's a lot of messages I think that have come through what's been said tonight, guys. So, you know, if you are out there, you know, looking in, thinking, where do I go? Just remember, one step at a time. Just start to implement things slowly. Overlook the frustration of little results, because I've been doing it a couple of months and these results have only just come, and it really is just a case of trying different things and just persevering.
Yeah, Lesley, thank you so much. Genuinely, that's as I said, I've taken a lot from this, and I'm certain there will be others who've taken.
I certainly have. Yeah.
So thank you very much. I don't think we need to. I mean, it's getting close to an hour. We're filling time quite nicely. Thank you, Lily. No, I mean, we joke about this, but guys, although we have managed to start pretty accurately or pretty promptly this evening, we do kind of want to keep these to an hour maximum. And if we feel that we've provided a lot of value and the messages we've got out there tonight, I think have, then we will take it shorter than an hour. So if there's anything that anyone wants to ask, we will just open the floor again to questions if you have any. But I think if we can sort of wrap it up in a couple of minutes, that would be good.
Yep.
I think Rachel.
The questions.
I think Rachel Hall's just picked up on the point that was being said there. You know, about one step at a time. How do you eat an elephant?
Yeah.
You know, it is just one bite at a time. Yeah.
Bloody big spoon, but small bites. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Rachel, that I'll just put that thing in here. For those of you who've not come across it before, it's called, that book, Eat That Frog.
Makes me laugh every time I hear that.
Sorry?
Makes me laugh every time I hear it.
There's quite a few videos on YouTube about it as well.
Yeah, it's very good. It is very good.
And if you get it, Rachel, and you like it, and you feel you can share stuff, that's a blog post again. Why not do a review on it? A review on the book. There is a ton of stuff on, if you do Google keyword search and find out some long tail keywords, there is so much stuff on procrastination that you can use in a blog a lot.
And anyone struggling for ideas on Facebook advertising niches? Well, there's a couple in its own right, isn't it? Procrastination,
Absolutely.
Eat That
Yeah.
Frog, Brian Tracy.
And there are some awesome pictures you can use of frogs. We might suddenly see an influx of funny frog pictures all over Facebook, but there really is.
You've seen many of them around here.
Cool. Yeah, Jason, need these to keep motivated and deal with progress and learning. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming you're talking about the Fast Start webinars. That is what these are all about. I know that the content of these webinars on a weekly basis will change. Some of it will be more technical. We may be covering, I was thinking about covering Google Analytics, but that, as Rachel pointed out, or she did ask actually, is it covered in the Fast Start? The answer is yes. That there is a Fast Start section of attaching Google Analytics to your blog. I was going to cover that this evening. I obviously would appreciate a show of hands if you want me to cover that maybe next week. But I mean, it is in the Fast Start stuff, so we won't dwell on stuff that it is in the Fast Start, because if you really need it, that's where it is. And it is all about taking action and finding that information.
But if that's about how to connect it through to Google Analytics, would it not help to then explain how to perhaps translate and how best to use the results that come from that? You know, what are the benefits of connecting
what
to
you're
Google
doing.
Analytics? Sorry, no, sorry.
Knowing what you're doing.
Well, okay, to tell you what, I did slightly prepare for this, although we're coming to the end, but I will just log into my Google Analytics and just show people what it can provide. Rachel saw these this afternoon, and I'm up for criticism. I really don't mind that at all. So I'll do a screen share thing, and hopefully, what's it going to be? I think
Just whilst you're finding that, Jay did also suggest last week that he would try to do a video or come on the webinar and talk to us about rituals of, you know, Facebook and Gumtree and Craigslist and all of those. He unfortunately hasn't been able to do that because of this training course thing that he's been putting together, which I think he's launching tomorrow. So that is still in the offing somewhere. That will still be, you know, coming through, sort of like a daily ritual that we should all be following. Or those that want to follow it can follow it.
Yeah, and those of us who've got daily rituals could look to adapt. You know, I mean, I'm always up for adapting mine.
Absolutely, yeah.
Definitely. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
You can. For those of you who are watching and can see my screen, which hopefully is everybody who's attending, that's my Google. I mean, I'm not getting thousands and thousands of visitors to my blog. I think my girlfriend Sylvia is actually getting more to her other blogs than myself, which I'm very impressed about. But this, as you can see, I actually, prior to two or 3 days ago, I hadn't blogged since March, which says a lot for the whole daily blogging thing. So you will see, I think actually it kind of tailed off. If I put months, this doesn't look very good. Okay, you can see over that time, so, okay, this is taken from June. Ever since I was blogging on a daily basis at the end for about a week, that was a period of a week, the end of January, I think, and then I stopped, I've been getting consistent daily traffic to my blog, even though I stopped. So it is all about picking interesting topics, and keyword research always comes into, you know, always helps. But because I saw that tailing off, I mean, it probably will pick up again, even if I stopped, you know, even if I didn't start blogging. But I thought, why let it tail off? You know, why not just keep it going and let it pick up again? And you'll see here, it's spiked, and I'm hoping here, although it went off, and it'll keep climbing now, because I'm going to do this daily blogging thing, which is what everybody shouts about, and I'm just going to keep it going. So I mean, I've seen people in power instead of 40 here, it says 2,000. And these are visits. So if you can spike at one off 2,000s a day, that's impressive.
So do you broadcast your message, your blog posts out to your lists every day, Rick, so that they know to come and have a look?
I don't. I've been meaning to do that. You mentioned it earlier, and I was thinking, yeah, that's something I was keep meaning to do, because you can, if you want to write a broadcast and it's, for example, providing value, and you've written a blog post on that particular subject, then yeah, you can write a brief broadcast and say, actually, if you want more information on this, check out the blog post. You're not selling stuff. You're just converting them and showing them more about Empower Network and what you can create and share with people and what it looks like. So
most of those visits, according to your statistics there, then are simply through people finding you on a search and such like.
Yeah, Google. I mean, I tweet them, put them on LinkedIn. I just do standard syndication. I don't do anything too crazy.
Right.
And that's literally people, coming through from those social media platforms and Google. And I mean, as you say, translating stuff, even I don't go too much into detail about where these come from. But obviously you can see here that a large percentage of them are in America, US, EN US, and obviously ENGB, and there's a few others. But yeah, the large proportion of them are from America. So that tells me one thing, maybe that I need to start focusing more on UK people. I think it would benefit my business, because I prefer to attract UK people because I like to potentially meet up with them. That's the idea. So I'm into that kind of thing, sort of meeting up for a coffee. In fact, I had a coffee with somebody in Malvern just down the road this afternoon. And just to brush over the story lightly in case people can draw value from this, this lady contacted me. She's, I think she must have liked my page locally when I was promoting to local entrepreneurs, potentially earning money online. And she liked my page, and then she added me as a friend. And we found that we actually had quite a lot in common, and she's got a daughter. I mean, she's quite a lot older than me, and her daughter is at uni and stuff. But both of them together actually met up with me at a coffee shop today, and they are looking very seriously at starting to earn money online and online business. I did go into a bit of detail about Empower Network, but I tried to read the body language to see if they were really eager about that or whether they had something else they were interested in. But I've got a funny feeling that they may be interested in Empower Network, but may have felt that I was pitching them a little bit, and therefore they were a bit defensive, which is fine. I'm always trying to learn myself about how I come across and body language and stuff like that. So yeah, I think she wants to learn information separate from Empower Network to start off with, but she's just joined my list as well, so who knows.
Watch this space.
Watch this space, yeah. So it's just the simple little things like that, building a bit of rapport, providing value, and not necessarily selling literally in their face all the time, and things happen. So yeah, that's me done and dusted, I think. Jen, what's Jen saying? Also the hours of difference happen.
Focusing on people in the UK obviously means that we're on the same time zone.
Yeah, I mean, Jen, where's Jen based? Isn't Jen, where are you based? I actually, for some reason, thought you were in America. Could be wrong. I know we have got a few American people in the team. I sadly lost one of my team members in America. She decided that she wasn't able to, I was kind of staying up to all hours trying to give her value and provide coaching and stuff, but she had a few other things going on in her life, and sadly she's stopped Empower Network. But who knows? She might join again at some point. Right. Okie dokie. I'm not sure. Is there anything else that any of you guys would like to add?
No, I think It's 9 o'clock now, isn't it? It's coming up to 9 o'clock. I think we've probably covered what we needed to.
Yeah.
But if there are any subjects that people want us to cover for future webinars, then tell us, because we can put something together quickly enough, can't we?
We can. Yeah.
Well, not an hour before, but tell us, and then we can build it into what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, sorry, Jen. That's what I saw. You from Venezuela, but you live in Scotland. Yeah, quite a difference, I would imagine. Cool. Right. Okay. Well, guys, thank you very much again. Lesley, thank you so much for sharing that with us this evening.
Yes, thank you.
And because we haven't had any really deep questions or detailed questions come out, I think we will end it there. Yeah, South America. Sorry, I just saw Jen say South America. Yeah, quite a difference from Scotland. Cool, guys. Thank you very, very much. Rachel, again, thank you for doing the more technical bit this evening, as you always do very well.
No problem.
And hopefully we've given some value. I know Lesley has definitely given some value here today. So
thank you.
Definitely, yes.
Thank you very much.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, just one last plea, really. When that little red box comes up in Facebook, we can't hear what you want to hear unless you tell us what you want to hear. So please do just comment on that when it comes up, sort of a day or so before the webinar, in case you've got anything, write it down. Write down something. If you've got something on your mind, write it down and then put it in a group that we can talk to you and share our answers and our thoughts. Cool. Okay, guys.
Okay. I'll end the broadcast now then. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Lesley.
Bye.
Bye-bye.